Hello, and welcome to Stuff That's Been on the News with Karen. Let's have a look at this.
A group of neo-Nazis has taken to the streets of Ballarat in a brazen display of racism. Dressed in black and balaclavas, the men marched through the heart of the regional city shouting racist chants. Although disturbing, police say they may not be able to charge anyone.
Police are limited in what they can do here. At the end of the day, if it was up to us, it'd be dead set illegal. You wouldn't be able to do it, but it's not. It's up to governments, and it's on them to determine if they want this happening.
An online Ballarat community group has slammed the unannounced demonstration as police review the video.
So you can see the behind them. This is a fair way to travel from Sturt Street to here, which is the back of Sovereign Hill. And they had, I read on social media that they had a bus that took them to the different photo shoots.
Dressed in black, their message, white supremacy. The National Socialist Network, neo-Nazis, marching through the centre of Ballarat and the streets around Sovereign Hill.
Shouting, the most horrible things about people of colour, and it was just disgusting.
I come from another country, and you think you're going to be safe.
Thomas Sewell, the only member of the racist display showing his face, the group descending as Ballarat marked 169 years since the Eureka Stockade. Community members outraged the men who took photos at the police station were allowed on the streets.
What they were yelling was incitement and racial abuse. It was absolutely horrific, and I don't understand why Vic Police allowed them to continue marching and to continue yelling that.
But in 2020...
I just wanted to note that Brett Eddington, Ballarat Regional Trades and Labour Council.
Unfathomable that in 2023 in Victoria, a group of neo-Nazis can walk down the main street of a regional centre.
Working towards Anti Vilification legislation to make sure that the law has the tools that it needs.
Some of that Anti Vilification legislation being created. The Trans Justice Project. Yeah. Okay. Sign our statement in solidarity with the trans community. 5 ways you can show support during Transgender Week. Fueling hate report. That's what we're going to have a look at. Quick note. It's already happened all over the country. So this is in Ballarat being presented to Catherine King. So it's been presented at state and federal level here, ministers, and all over Australia. Yep, so back to the fueling hate report. Here we go. So I'll click on the full report and show you a bit of that. It was the largest investigation into anti-trans hate in Australia, compiling data from over 399 survey responses. This was an online survey that took on average 3 minutes to complete, including 1,309 responses from people in the trans community, meaning that the others are gender diverse. So 1,790 were non-binary and gender fluid people would do this. Anyway, hate crease against them increased after Kelly J. Keane did the rally in Melbourne. A lot of people weren't paying attention, started paying attention. Anyway, so they did a survey online, and this is what they're after. And they've submitted this to the ministers, yeah? So introduce federal and state anti-vilification laws to protect the entire LGBTQIA plus community. Remember, Q is for queer theory. So queer theory that came out in the 90s, Judith Butler stuff, the gender fluid and stuff. So, and the A allows them to continually add letters to the rainbow. So they want it federally and state laws to protect things that we don't know what they're going to be yet. Anyway, back to introduce federal, state and state anti-vilification laws to protect the entire LGBTQIA plus community from abuse, harassment, vilification and violence. Work together with social media companies to stop the spread of anti-trans disinformation and LGBTQIA plus hate groups. Strengthen lesbians trying to have a picnic. That's a hate group, isn't it? Anyway, strengthen media regulations to ensure gender accountability for news outlets that promote anti-trans disinformation. Investigate community-led interventions to curb anti-LGBTQIA plus extremism and de-radicalisation approaches. Provide funding for further research into the causes and impacts of anti-trans abuse, harassment, vilification, violence, and strategies for addressing them. The fact that they want to call me a cis woman and that I have to say that trans women are women and not allowed to say that they're biological men, and I can go get to the court for that and get a criminal conviction. Maybe that's a reason for people to be a little bit annoyed with them. Anyway, back to the document. So back to the top and click on that link, read the full report here. Right, and here we are. There's the contents. They're the people that presented the stuff to the steps of Parliament. Now, here we go about the report. So, it was advertised. Okay, the survey was open to anyone online. 17th of April to the 25th of April. It was promoted on social media by the project team members and community-controlled organisations, civil society groups and community members. It took 3 minutes on average and had an average completion rate of 85%. So now let's have a look at some of the disinformation and stuff that they're going to have legislated to be outlawed. So here we go. So you won't be able to disagree with any of this. This is in their report, anti-trans disinformation. That this Australian repeatedly, the idea that people would use their identity to gain access to women-only spaces and assault women, like prisons. That's not a thing. And transphobic myth, which is no evidence. The outlet also argued that trans women have an unfair advantage on sports, which is also unsupported by evidence. So, anti-vilification laws, because these Nazi guys marched in Ballarat, quick, rush them through. And the sources, you need to check the sources out. It's very important because most of them are just from their lobby groups. So the Nazis showed up. Yeah, they did. So Thomas Sewell and that showed up to the Kelly J. Keane, the same event. There was 4 groups there. Anyway, and their sign was about them being pedo freaks. So a bit different to the one in Ballarat. And then also calling out the politicians that don't agree with their ideology. So that's part of their vilification stuff. Yep. To call out, yeah. That should be concerning, don't you think? Federal and government legislation. Yeah. And if we have a quick look at something in this, here we go, in council plan advocating for on key issues for LGBTIQA plus communities. So be responsive and proactive regarding current LGBTQ plus issues at state and federal levels by providing input into submissions, applying for relevant funding, signing statements, etc. The council. Promote an inclusive workplace by establishing based outline data from all staff. Hunt out the gender critical ones. Second. Right. Rainbow ticks and that. Anyway, here's some more right wing extremists, and there's that Sean guy again.
What rights is it exactly you want from council that you don't have at the moment? Are there specific rights? Why are you still wearing a mask? Is it the right to have story time for children ages 1 to 6? Is that the right that's the hill you're going to die on, to have sexualised story time with little children? What are you guys fighting for? What rights in council are you lacking? Your sign says drag queens are welcome here, and that's fine, but why are they welcome to kids of ages 1 to 6? Are you a ratepayer?
Ratepayer? No, bro.
So what are you doing here?
I can tell you what I'm doing here. I'm opposing this sort of thing that is, how do I put this? Right-wing propagandists.
Avia Mini for Rebel News outside the Monash City Council, where hundreds have gathered in protest of an upcoming ratepayer-funded event.
We're here to let council know that we're not happy about drag story time and drag performers talking to kids. In this case, the story time in question is going to be conducted at Oakley Library on May 19 for kids aged 1 to 6.
And on the other side we have...
So, yeah, if the police get powers to stop the Nazis, they'll be able to stop those people too, those right-wing parents. Yeah, them in prison. If you get prison a year in prison for doing a Nazi salute, imagine what you're going to get for showing up to one of these events. Ooh. Yep. So, last men marching up and down Ballarat, minibus and police escort is a great reason to rush through anti-hate and vilification laws, and great fun. Hey, good idea. No, stop and think about things, people. Snap out of it. Like, they've got masks on. They could be anyone. They could be the government. Like, yeah, they could be anyone. And what? Let's rush and change laws? Quick, don't look. These guys made a cake for Hitler's birthday. How can people take them seriously when they're letting the things they should take very seriously just slip on in and by and rush through? Anyway, enough of me being angry. I'm going to go meditate. See you later. Bye.